Today we're working on a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. It's as a hatchback. It's a GT model. Got a 2-liter motor in it, and I don't know if it's going to do it right now, but customer not complained, but just gave me information about how it was running. The tachometer not operating properly, light throttle where it doesn't rev up as high as it should, check engine light, and I even noticed a skip misfire on the startup, and then it would smooth out. And so what we're getting is a code, and what these things do is it's got a crankshaft sensor issue. One half the crankshaft sensor is not reading properly. Let's see what it does when I crank it up. All right, yeah, there we go. Limited throttle, wide open, that's it. And this thing, when it starts, it does a misfire. You hear it skip, when it does run kind of right like it's supposed to. So, okay, so we're on this Hyundai Elantra here we're working on with the crankshaft sensor. Does anybody want to do it themselves? There's the crankshaft sensor right here. Your reference would be the oil filter. It's right there. There's a 10mm bolt that takes it out, and it slides out. Let's see here. Hold on. I'll get the new one. That's what it looks like. It's got a little harness on it. Disconnects in front of the intake, front of the motor there. All right, let's get it out of there. Okay, so here it is. There's the sensor and its harness. By the way, another video I'll be doing here soon is bringing back this old Isuzu. I put a transmission in it. It's been sitting for quite some time. It's a friend of mine's, and the ethanol fuel ruined this thing. That pump was just sitting in that ethanol gas, and it just annihilated it. That's what, if that was regular non-ethanol, just regular fuel, there wouldn't be any rust at all on this. That ethanol fuel is notorious for messing up. Even stainless steel just doesn't hold up. But that's a whole nother video. But back to the 2013 Hyundai Elantra. So this is what we're going to change. We're going to put that back in where it came from, which was out of that spot right up there above the oil filter. And new sensor is installed. Sorry for the lighting. There it is. It goes up and around and just hooks in right up there at the top. Right there. It's easy to get. It's like, if you got a lift, it's easy to get to. Alright, we're going to change the camshaft sensors as well, just because I want everything to be the same. Might be a little, sound a little bit far-fetched, but I have had better luck with changing everything as a unit. Okay. So camshaft sensors. Camshaft sensors have, they're right up underneath this little cover right there, which I already removed it somewhat, so that was a little easier than what it is. It's not hard, it just unsnaps. And we've got an intake camshaft position sensor and exhaust camshaft position sensor. And they all work together because you got variable valve timing, and that helps to count position of where this cam is, and it's relative to its variable valve timing, so your actuator cell always know what to do. All right, we're going to swap those out. 10mm bolts, connector just pushes, releases, so we're going to do that. Okay. Alrighty, let's do that. Call me lazy. Got my little electric thing. Love it. Well, it didn't fall off and fall behind the motor on camera. That's a good thing. We'll snap these back on. One. Here we go. Alright. Okay. So I'll do the clear codes and we'll test drive and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're in the vehicle now, and gonna clear codes right quick. All right, see how it starts up. All right, so far so good. Back it out. All right, we're gonna go for a ride, everybody. Welcome to my neighborhood. So far so good, she's running good. Woohoo! All right. I know everybody on this highway. It's really cool, actually. We're on this highway, on this little road. People say, that ain't no highway. Kind of a really nice neighborhood, actually. I know, like I say, I've been at this shop for a good part of my life. So I've gotten to know all the neighbors that were here and moved in new neighbors and moved again. So to be able to have that relationship with everybody, especially on this road here, it's a good thing because we all sort of look out for each other. Where I live at's not near the shop. I live about, no, I can't say not near, 15 minutes. I live about 15 minutes from the shop. So, and I know everybody on my road at home too. We all are on a really good basis where we know each other and we say hey and we wave when we see each other. So, a lot of fun it is. And we're getting ready to come up to a really cool old, this used to be a gas station years ago. And they did some work on vehicles too. But this was a gas station probably back in the, maybe the mid 80s, I believe it finally shut down. Yeah, well, this is my little turnaround point right here because we'll get a couple of miles in, get everything heat soaked. But when I was little, I actually remember this place at one time was in operation. All these little Hyundai Elantras in 2013 and 2012 and 2010. Listen to this motor. I don't know if you can hear it. Listen. They'll do that forever, but they'll make that noise. They've got loose pistons, I guess is what it is. They make a little chatter, but from what I can see, they kind of just, they'll stay right there at that noise level. So I don't think these are real bad cars. I just think that every car has its day. All this new technology and these quick production of vehicles, you are going to pay a price in quality at some point, which we do, but this one here at 103,000 miles, from the looks of it, we had some bad sensors already, which is a little weird. It's more than likely the crank sensor was most of the culprit, but I want all these sensors to work together. So I got all matching sensors. It's not, I'm not, you know, the labor is real minimal for changing out those cam sensors. So it's really a good idea to do it. When I pull up to the shop, I have to put the phone down because I don't want to dox everybody's license plates. That's a good friend of mine's house right there. He's a subscriber to the channel too. He's a cool dude. All right, here we go. What I gotta do now is let it run for a little bit. We're gonna let it run a little bit, let it get good and warmed up. And then we're gonna try a restart after it heat soaks a little bit, because that's when this thing would really act up after driving it. So I'm letting it heat soak. And then we'll make a bill on it and call it a day if it seems to be right, because it got to where it was doing it right bit regular. Okay, thank you. Well, we'll be back here shortly. Alrighty, so see what happens. It's been heat soaked. Try it. Oh wow. Starts up a lot faster too. I think we got this thing whooped. Okay, so this is what we found. This is what we did today. The this 2013 Hyundai Elantra looks like we've got it fixed, because before it was getting pretty bad, pretty regular, and it took longer to crank. So replaced the crankshaft sensor and both cam sensors. And the reason why I replaced the cam sensors is because I want those to work together. And the symptoms of this was hard starts, tachometer intermittently working, check engine light, reduced power, and misfire on crank ups. And it would skip almost like it had a head gasket problem. It skip, and then it would kind of smooth out. And I didn't even check the water. I was like, wow, it just looks fine. There's no issue there. So what I think I've got is just that sensor not reading properly. It's hot out here, y'all, so if it looks sweaty, it's because it is. I think today it's 94 over here in North Carolina. So if anybody doesn't realize just how hot North Carolina gets. And I'm outside. I've got this shop full of vehicles. This was just a quick repair that I needed to do to get the guy going. So I went ahead and just got it knocked out real quick. So I'm gonna wrap it up. 2013 crankshaft sensor issue. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day. And I'm out.